If it's so great, Sally, why didn't you just put the information in the original post in the first? Oh, that's right, because it's bullshit. Hello and happy Monday. Today I'm going to share with you two things that I've learned from this pandemic. One of which being, as bad as this has been, I feel like it's really opening our eyes to how unhealthy and just truly sick our country actually is. I saw a post last week that I'm going to share with you. It's really short, but it was as of last week. You can now get cocktails to go in Maine. McDonald's is open. Scratch tickets are being sold, and you can pick up a big fountain drink for 79 cents while you're there. Maybe get some cigarettes too. 94% of people hospitalized, and also about 80%, I think I read somewhere, 80% of people who have died from this whole thing had a chronic, or which means long-term, chronic health issue like obesity, diabetes, or hypertension, which is high blood pressure. But gyms have to stay closed because they're not essential. Let me say, this is not about me trying to petition opening up gyms, although I know a lot of people would be really happy about that. No, this is about waking the fuck up. I'm going to repeat that one sentence. So 94% of people who are hospitalized and more than 80% of those who have died have a chronic health issue like obesity, diabetes, or hypertension, which is high blood pressure. 94%. All of those things could have been preventable or gotten better just from better lifestyle choices. But we would rather make sure that McDonald's is open so those who aren't in the hospital can get one step closer to being there. And I don't want to hear like, well, it runs in my family and this is just hard. I don't care. I don't care, because all those excuses, it's bullshit. I don't care if hypertension runs in your family, you have this, you have obesity, whatever. That's not you. You are not defined by what your family has or did or whatever. You can surely use that as an excuse, and most people do, and that's why they're just like, oh, can't do anything about it, runs in my family. No, the problem is no one runs in your family. Sorry. I'm gonna be real right now. We need to start thinking of food as a way of like medicine and health versus just like rewards and convenience, because that's really what we do. And we are by far the most overweight and just sickest country in the world, and our government isn't going to do anything to help us. They can pretend like they are. They can pretend real good, but they make money off of everyone being sick, so why are they going to really try to make that any better when they're making money from people being overweight and sick and having to go to the hospital and all this stuff? So they're not going to fix it. If they did care, they would ban certain chemicals and food additives like other countries have who are a lot healthier, but they don't, so you're free to eat whatever fake or man-made bullshit you want. I'm not saying you have to be perfect, like, not in any way, I don't mean that. But I do think we need to reverse the percentages. So what I mean by that is, if you currently now eat 80% of the time, like your fast food and your processed stuff and your sugary drinks and your sodas and all that kind of stuff, and 20% of the time, like you maybe eat a vegetable, if that, we need to flip-flop that. Think about it this way. If you eat 5 times a day, which you should, 3 big meals is doing nothing for your metabolism. If you eat 5 times a day, 7 days a week, okay, it's 35 meals, right? I think that's good math. Yeah. So 35 meals per week. You take 80% of that and you eat good, real food, whole foods, actual real food. Food, not food products and fake stuff. Actual real food. 80% of the time. That leaves you 20% or 7 meals a week for your takeout or your fast food, if that's what you do, or your desserts or your whatever. Okay, 7 times a week. That is plenty. That might sound crazy to a lot of people to eat healthy, 80% of the time, but what's crazy is how many health issues that can be prevented just from making better food choices. And what's worse is that we're passing these bad habits off to our kids, and they have no choice but to eat whatever you give them, so we're actually giving them health issues because of what they're eating. You may have seen my previous post a couple posts ago about, if your kid has a hard time concentrating at school or at home or whatever, which might be even easier to kind of see right now since a lot of families are more together more often because of the whole quarantine thing. But we're so quick to label them with like ADD, ADHD, this problem. Look at their food. Sugar is a huge contributor to why kids just act the way that they do, or they act out, or whatever. It's the sugar. You got to watch the film, the Sugar Film. I think that's what that's actually called, and it breaks this down so well, and just really goes into detail. And it's kind of like it's not like a boring documentary. It's kind of like a comedy. I can't even say the words right now. It's kind of like a comedy. The guy puts a spin on really all the problems, and eats the amount of sugar that the average American gets every day, and just watch it. It's pretty good. Yeah, going back to what I was saying, I get on tangents all the time, if you couldn't tell. when you eat better, you actually crave better food, and then you need or crave the not so good food way less often. And it actually doesn't even taste the same anymore either. So, but you don't miss it. That's the point. I use this story all the time. I had a client who I told him I'd rather have an apple than a cookie. And he's like, you're full of it, whatever, which I'm used to people saying that because they think I'm lying because I probably sound a little crazy. I was like, okay, that's cool, whatever. About a month or 6 weeks in, he's like, you lied. And I'm like, oh, really? What'd I lie about? He's like, I wouldn't rather have an apple than a cookie. I'm like, okay. He's like, I'd rather have a pear than a cookie. I was like, that is one big thing that I've learned from this whole pandemic is that we are just so grossly sick we knew this before, obviously, but the fact that that's the main reason people are dying or getting hospitalized because of this, because of their chronic illnesses they have had. I hope this just makes people wake up a little bit, because we are prioritizing the wrong things, especially when we're opening things back up. Like, we have to have McDonald's open before we have, like, gyms open. I get it. There's different things that happen in those places that would require 6 feet apart, whatever. But I know my gym personally, and we're opening in phases. Even when we're allowed to open, we are taking precautions. We're doing the things that we need to do, because people got to get back in there, man. It's just, this is a huge factor that's contributing to why these people are so sick. Just eating better and exercise. And just in general, in this whole thing, how we're comparing how many people have died from COVID, and then you see all the statistics of how many people have died from obesity and this and that, and all health-related issues that we never talk about because it's, I don't know, not as exciting or newsworthy. I don't have an answer for that. I think it's crazy. But so many more people a day die from these diseases because of what they eat and what they do or don't do. And they just, because we gotta make better health choices. Okay. And rant on that one. The other thing that I've learned, which is infuriating, is it just me, or is there an influx of bullshit on Facebook that looks like this? And then my favorite is when you see the comment yes if you want more info and I'll DM you. And then it's all their friends who are just posting, yes, 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 yes. If it's so great, Sally, why didn't you just put the information in the original post in the first? Oh, that's right, because it's bullshit. When really, these types of posts would be helpful if they looked like this. But no one would click on that because it's not clickbait and it's actual work. I already made a rant video about like fad diets and BS, so I'm not going to go into that again. But it just blows my brains out of my head to just see how willing people are to just scam people and take advantage of people during this time, which is really, really sad. Especially when the whole like quarantine 15, when that whole thing comes to play, once this whole thing is done and people are going to be like, I gained so much weight. They're going to want the first thing that they see that promises them to lose up to 12 million pounds in 5 seconds. And here we go, all over again. I mean, it all goes back to no teaching of the healthy lifestyles or the importance of that. How sustainability, it doesn't have any of that. The damage these pills and magic whatever crap do to your small intestines, your metabolism, and just long-term damage that when you do actually find like a good lifestyle diet to choose or whatever you're doing, it takes that much longer for that to kick in and actually work, because we think it doesn't work. Like, I've been eating better for a day and it's not working. Well, no, it just has to fix all the stuff you broke, so it's going to seem like it takes longer. Because it does, because it's got to go back and undo the damage that you did from the magic pills you bought from your feed from, you know, some famous person that told you that you can lose all the weight in 5 seconds. Yeah! Alright, I don't really know how to end this one. That's all I got. So the 2 main things I've learned, we're really unhealthy in America, and we're really gullible, and people are jerks, and will take advantage of you very much. So, yeah. Like, subscribe anyway. Share this with maybe somebody that needs a little wake-up call. I don't know. It was a little rough. It was tough love. It's only because I love you. Okay. Is that real talk? Out. Bye. Have like all the excuse me, I just burped. Okay. Put it in the bloopers. As bad as this has been, God, my knees are sweating. I'm turning.